video is all about how you can become a more positive and more optimistic person. I know a lot of times people tend to think just because I'm pessimistic now and because I think very negative all the time, like that's just the way I am and it cannot be changed, that's just my character. There are actually studies that prove that even though we have a genetic predisposition for viewing the world a certain way, we can still change it just through exercises and habit. So this basically means even though you might think of yourself as a pessimist and a very negative person, you can change it. So for today's video, I thought of all of the things pessimistic people like to say and ways to overcome that. And just to let you know beforehand, if you like this video and if you like the content, I have a full blog post on Pure Power Panda, which I will link up here, in which I wrote down everything I'm saying today. So if you like what I say, you can go back there, read everything, print it out, have it under your pillow at night. If you are one of those people that likes to think of you being a very unlikable person, you're not interested, and you probably forgot one thing, and that is definitely that not everybody has to like you. I don't know why we do that, but for some reason we tend to think everybody has to like us and we have to be super interesting to everyone. But really, the truth is you're an individual, everyone else is an individual. We're not always all gonna like each other, and that's okay. It's fine if there are people that don't like you. And I guess like once you take that weight off your shoulders and you accept that a few people are never ever gonna like you, it's so much easier to kind of be yourself and be your true you and appreciate those that like you even more. And yes, there is someone that likes you, and even if you haven't met them or if you still think people don't like you, people do like you, and everyone, I'm 100% sure of this, has something interesting to offer to others. I also want you to remember that others' reaction towards you doesn't necessarily have to do with you. Oftentimes, if people treat you with disrespect, it's more because of their feelings and their frustration, or maybe even their jealousy towards you. This one is definitely a classic, but it's still worth mentioning. Treat others the way you want to be treated. I know this is a very simple rule, but if you really feel like people don't like you, maybe it's time to reflect a little bit of your own behavior and ask yourself, do I actually smile at people when I greet them? Do I listen to what they have to say? And do I show interest in the things they say? And do I even offer help sometimes? Often enough in life, you know, you get back what you put out, and if you're constantly frowning and not taking interest in other people, this might be the reason why people frown back at you and don't take interest in what you have to say. Everyone else aside, obviously the most important thing is that you like yourself. If you don't like yourself, it's gonna be very hard for others to like you, and of course that is a hard thing for some people, because there are people that say, I don't like myself, and that is definitely something you have to change about yourself. You really have to learn to truly care about yourself and to always want the best for yourself and to have respect for yourself. Yeah, everybody has it so much easier than me. They all have rich parents and like everything is so easy and they're so lucky, but I just cannot ever be successful or happy. Like that's a way a lot of people like to think, and here are some news for you if you think that way. First off, everything good in life requires work, a lot of hard work, everything good. And B, everyone who has ever been successful with anything in life worked really hard for that. And I know we like to think that some people just became successful overnight, but that's a really disrespectful way of thinking, because everybody that's successful had to work for it, even if we don't see it. Having to work hard for success is a universal truth. It applies to everyone, and it even applies to you. And this means if you stick with your goals and your dreams, and if you work hard, if you find solutions, you will eventually get there. The only thing that separates the successful from the unsuccessful is usually nothing more than pure willpower. I talk a lot about dreams and goals and ambitions on Pure Power Panda, and I think a lot of people, when they read that, think, I don't have a goal, I don't have dreams, I don't have ambitions, like I'm not excited for anything in life, like everything is boring to me, I don't care about anything. And if this is the way you think about yourself, you probably haven't really discovered your true passion yet, because I really truly believe everyone can be excited about something. And you might also already have a passion, but you just don't like think it's worth being called a passion because it's maybe an unconventional thing to do, or because you don't know how you can make a living of it. But in this case, just think of the owner of Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat is actually like my mascot for this video today. She sits right here, and I have her here because of course of the grumpy face, but also because if you think about the story of her owner, who became a millionaire just by posting pictures of her cat and marketing those pictures. If you think about it, and then if you think about your own goal, does it really seem that unrealistic for it to come true? You know, it's easy to say you don't have a goal just because you think your goal is not achievable, but just put that aside and really think of all of the people that were successful with things that are really a little crazy. Now, if you still sit there watching and thinking, I don't have a passion, like stop telling me I have a passion, I don't have a passion, then you probably have not spent enough time with yourself. And I really believe that you need a little bit of me time every once in a while to kind of discover yourself and get to know yourself and figure out the things you like and don't like. Because if you just go home every day from school or work and you sit down and watch television and complain about politics, like how are you ever going to know what you like or don't like? Maybe you're going to figure out what you don't like, but you still don't know what you like. So I think it's very important to just get up and get out and try yourself and sign up for different classes and courses and try new sports and take part in events and read books and educate yourself and just try new things until you finally discover what you really like, because that's the only way you will ever find your passion. So once you know your passion and your goal and you want to go after it, it's easy to say, you know, I don't have the money to do it. I would love to be this and that, but I just can't afford it. I don't have the time. I don't have a car to get there. Like, honestly, if this is how you talk about your dreams and goals, these are just excuses, and you know it, because there is a way. There's always a way, and even if it's not the perfect ideal way and if it's really unconventional, there is still a way. Just on a side note, if you say you don't have time, I have a blog post that talks about not having time. I'm gonna link it up here. It's very interesting. And apart from that, I thought of an example for this. So if you say, I want to go to this really awesome designer school, for example, but it's a private school and it's really expensive and I cannot afford it, you can either sit there and do nothing and complain that you can't afford that expensive school and all the rich kids get to go there, but you just don't have rich parents, so you never be successful in life. Or you could, for example, say, okay, I'm gonna get a side job and work for maybe 2 or 3 years even and save up the money so I can go in a few years. Maybe I'll be a bit older than everyone else, but who cares? I'm still fulfilling my dream. Or you have the other option to say, okay, I can't afford that school. I don't want to waste 2 years working some job. I want to do it right now. So I'll just teach myself. I'm gonna take classes, I'm gonna read books, I'm gonna watch tutorials, I'm gonna go to workshops, I'm gonna take an internship. There are many different things you can do to actually get that knowledge. And yes, maybe you don't have the degree afterwards, you don't have a certificate that proves that you know all of this, but you still have the knowledge. And maybe you have even more experience because you took some internships along the way. Of course, that's just one example, but you can apply this method to any part of your life. If you say, I want to eat healthy, I want to be fit, like don't say, I can't afford a gym membership. There are so many ways you can still get fit. You can watch free exercise videos on YouTube. You can just buy a DVD for at home and do your exercises at home. We live in the age of information. There's information everywhere and it's free, and you really have to take advantage of that. My point is basically that you can find ways. If you really want something, there's always some kind of way to get there. You just have to sit down and really think about it and then be like, okay, it's not ideal, it's not the perfect thing to do, but that's like the only thing I can do to get there, so I'll do that. If your dream is important enough, you will find a way. I can't be happy because I have this problem and I don't have that and I need this and my parents are so strict and I can't afford this and that. Like, you can literally always find problems in your life. And trust me, the most happiest and most optimistic person on this planet is gonna have problems. Everyone has problems. The only difference between the pessimist and the optimist is definitely their view of the problem. The pessimist is gonna sit there and look at his problem and make it the center of his whole life. Everything's gonna circle around it. However he acts and feels and his mood and everything, it's all gonna be influenced by his problem. The optimist, on the other hand, is gonna sit there and see his problem. He's gonna say, okay, there's the problem. This part of the problem is really out of my reach. I can't change it. I cannot do anything about it. I'll just accept that. But this part of the problem, I can do something about. Like, even if it's not gonna be life-changing, but at least I can do something. So I'll put all of my energy into this part and focus on that. Especially with social media being everywhere, it's sometimes easy to look at others and their achievements and everything about them and kind of be jealous or be like, you know, she's so pretty, or she's so outgoing, or he's so smart and he's so creative. Like, I can never be like that. I can never be successful. You just have to remember that life is not about being the best or the greatest at everything. Everybody has their flaws. Everybody has their talents. And it's all about accepting the flaws and like nurturing and bringing out the talents you do have. And just because others are successful doesn't mean you cannot be successful at the same thing. You don't need others to fail in order so you can win. So it really doesn't make any sense to compare yourself to others. Everybody has their unique path because we are all individuals. So stop comparing yourself to everybody else. You have your own story. Just do your own thing. Pure Power Ponder is really all about bringing out the best in yourself and becoming the best you can possibly be, which does not mean you have to be perfect at everything. You never have to strive for perfection, but you should strive for excellence. You should really try to be the best you can possibly be in every part of your life. No matter if it's your diet, your fitness routine, or how organized you are at home, or how you are mentally, like your mental state, you should always try to bring that to the best possible state you can. And again, you don't have to be a health expert, a fitness guru, a beauty guru. You don't have to be an organization freak. Like, it's all about making everything in your surrounding and in your inside and outside, making it as good as you possibly can. I also want to remind you that there isn't just this one ideal person you have to become. There are so many different ways you can be. It's just that we are so influenced by the media nowadays that it's easy to think, you know, for example, an outgoing person is so much more better than someone who's a shy person. But honestly, if you are more of the shy type and that's just how you are, that's okay. If you feel comfortable in a smaller group and not talking in front of thousands of people or singing or dancing or anything outgoing people do, that's totally fine, because you are you. And that's just something I want to emphasize, that, you know, there are different types of people and you are your own person, and you never have to try to be like everyone else. Just be yourself. Whenever we are in a situation that kind of frightens us and scares us and makes us nervous, we obviously are afraid of failing, and that's natural because that's just how we are, and it's healthy. If you are afraid of something, you just shouldn't be afraid of everything all the time. But failure is a part of life. It makes you grow, it makes you stronger, it makes you wiser, it makes you more self-confident, and in the long run it makes you make better decisions because you have more self-confidence. So failure is a part of life, basically is the only way you can grow. So accepting that you can fail and that you have failed is really important. I've been in a lot of situations where I was really nervous or really scared. I moved a lot as a kid, so I was always in new schools and new classes, and that's also a very nerve-wracking situation. It's really uncomfortable. But the only thing you can do in these situations is to be like, okay, I know I feel like crap right now and this is really uncomfortable and I don't like it, and it's okay. Like, there is no other way around. This is how I feel right now. I'll just make the best of it. If you still sit there and you think, you know, this is all nice and good, but honestly it doesn't help me, I have one more tip, and that helps me a lot sometimes. And it's, you know, when you're scared of something, then I like to think of myself 5 years from now, or even myself as a really old granny. And what would she say to me? Would she cheer for me and be like, come on, like, do it, give it a try? Or would she say, oh, you better stay away from this? And honestly, I think she would definitely tell me to do it, just because it's so much worse to live with the feeling of regret of not having done something than the fear of trying to do it. Sometimes like just changing your perspective and like seeing the big picture and seeing how this thing can have an impact on your life, like on your whole life and not just on the moment right now, can sometimes really help to overcome the fear. So these were all of my tips for today. I have one more last tip for you, and that is, you know, don't think too much about your dreams and goals and the way you want to live, because just thinking about it is not gonna make you happy. The only thing that will make you happy is if you do actually something for those dreams, if you take action. And even if it's just a teeny tiny baby step, it feels so great and it will actually get you closer to your dreams. So when you're done watching this video, maybe just take a moment to sit down and think like, what can I actually do right now at this very moment to get me closer to my dreams? And then just do it. Don't forget that you can find the link to this article on Pure Power Panda in the info box of this video, so you can read everything I just said. And also, if you like this video and everything I had to say, and if you found it motivating, definitely check out my Motivating Monday series on Pure Power Panda. Those posts are just meant to motivate you for the week and to start everything with the right mindset and the right mood. And I want those posts to inspire you to be your very best, and I really personally enjoy writing those posts for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!